Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy whatever day that you are watching or listening to this. It's been a while since you've heard me say that, but welcome back to me and to all of you for joining Maximize Monday. It's busy season in the campus and college recruiting timeline, but we're in the home stretch now. I have one more visit coming up. Was just at my alma mater, York College, where I met my guest today a long time ago. We won't even talk about how long it's been since we we were in college together. But Charlotte, thank you so much for jumping on here with me and giving the audience a little bit of information about your story.
Hello, I'm Charlotte. Thank you, Matt. Super excited to be here today.
Yeah, absolutely. And you and I have been connected for some time. I've always been kind of following your journey. And when I reached out to you, I wanted to discuss a few different things just because you have a lot of different projects that you've worked on over the past few years. So wanted to, give some people some insight, but I also know that you're kind of exploring opportunities too. So love to have people on to just kind of talk about that. And the market right now is one that, it takes a village, right? So whatever we can do to get you into that next role that you get excited about. But starting off, the reason I reached out was because of content creation, and you had been doing some fitness content creation for some time, and always just like to kind of talk about the journey there. What initially got you interested in doing that, made you think like, I'm obviously your fitness was an important aspect of your life anyway. So what was the step from like I'm taking my fitness seriously to now I want to start creating content and show people how they can do that in their timeline too?
Okay, awesome. So I'll start a little bit from the beginning, make it quick.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a full circle moment. It started in college. So, college, freshman year, I gained the freshman 15, 20 pounds. And I was always in shape, always played sports in high school and stuff. But in college, I didn't play sports. I just did the dance team. But I wound up gaining weight from all the pizza, all the beer, and everything else. And not working out enough. So that's when I really started to dive into learning more about eating healthy, working out. And then I decided, what could I do while I'm at college to make money, something that I'm already doing?
Mhm.
And it was working out. So I called up my cousin. She was a fitness instructor. And she told me where to get my certification. My first certification was AFA, AFAA.
Mhm.
So I got certified to teach group fitness, and I was the first student ever at our college to teach group fitness classes. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
They always had hired instructors from outside of the college to teach. So that was cool that I was the first one. I started that movement
Mhm.
at our school. So that's where I started teaching. And then graduated college, wasn't really sure what I wanted to do because I was discouraged from getting my master's to be a guidance counselor
Mhm.
because on Long Island, where I live, there's not very many openings in the schools.
Right.
So I didn't get my master's. So I was like, okay, now what? If I'm
Mhm.
not going to be a guidance counselor, that was my plan. What should I do?
Yeah.
So I started working in gyms. I started at a gym 5 minutes away from my house, and I would work the front desk. And I worked, there was also a spa in that gym. I worked the front desk at the spa as well. And then I started teaching classes there,
Yeah.
and it was great. I would take a lot of classes too. So I learned a lot about yoga and cycling and all of that, but I was just teaching like sculpt classes. And then I moved on to teaching spin at a company called Next Cycle.
Okay.
It's where there are videos like music videos, so it's not just like a normal spin class. There's actually music videos playing to the songs that you're playing, so it's really immersive and very cool and fun, and it takes your mind off of what you're doing and you're just like watching the music videos while you're cycling. So that was a cool experience there. And then I was a personal trainer at Gold's Gym and Equinox. I also taught classes. Equinox is an amazing company. I mean, amazing. It's very corporate, and they actually would train me to teach different methods of classes within under the Equinox umbrella. So one
Okay.
day I wanted to teach bar classes, which is kind of ballet, yoga, and Pilates combined, which I really love. And Equinox has their own instructor that comes in and teaches you, and then I would teach bar, I would teach sculpt and cycling, spin. at Equinox,
Yeah.
and I was also a personal trainer.
Mhm.
So I got a lot of experience there. Oh, and Equinox pays you to get educated
Very convenient.
as a personal trainer.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. And that's where I learned most of it. And then I moved on to Orange Theory, and I was a coach at Orange Theory. So at Orange Theory was where the content creation pretty much started,
Okay.
because they're big on it. They
Mhm.
want you to, get the members engaged on social media. So that's where I started to post when I'm teaching and all of that.
Mhm.
The only problem that I really always had with it, though, is I want to be private. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I don't want people knowing, just because of the world we're in today.
Right.
I don't want people knowing what time I'm going to be where.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
I didn't always feel comfortable with sharing it with the public, because I like to have a public profile, because you can reach all the members and everything for motivational purposes. But when I would post my schedule, it's a little bit scary. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody could wait in the bushes and wait. I don't know. I've heard too much, I guess. Like,
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
I've watched too many documentaries and
Yeah.
stuff. So that's kind of my take on that. But I'm also kind of leaning more in towards not having any fear and not letting that type of thing hold me back. So that's, I think, admirable also, to where I don't, I'm going to post where I am, when I'm teaching, where I'm teaching, and
Mhm.
not have any fear about it. Hundreds and hundreds of millions of people do that on a daily basis. I mean,
Right.
so I don't know. But then you hear the really scary stories. So that's where that came in. But so I kind of am touch and go with it.
Yeah.
Do I want to share? Do I want to be more private? That's just my experience with it.
Yeah. Definitely.
But then I left Orange Theory because of the pandemic,
Mhm.
and because I needed health insurance.
Yeah.
Because Orange Theory, some of them do provide health insurance. I think it's more now, but when I was there before 2020, they didn't.
Okay.
And so then once the pandemic hit, I was like, okay, I went to full-time remote for my office job that I was doing. I had a part-time office job, part-time Orange Theory.
Okay.
I got to tell you, it was probably the most fun I've ever had. Like, Equinox was great, but the hours weren't ideal,
Mhm.
because for me at Equinox, I had a 5 a.m. client Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I would have to get up at 4:20 a.m. to make it there by 5.
Right.
And that's fine. A lot of people get up early. Some people get up at 3:30 every
Yeah.
single day. But for me, I'm not going to bed early enough to get enough sleep for me to be waking up at that hour. So
Mhm.
that was really tough. And then it was very far away from me. It was like 20, 25 minutes away, the gym, Equinox, where I worked. So that's my biggest thing. If anybody is thinking about being a trainer, I recommend getting a job down the block from your house,
Okay.
or apartment, or
Yeah.
trailer, or wherever you live.
Yeah.
Make it very close. That's my advice, because you are going to get clients that want to get trained and work out before work and after work.
Mhm.
And typically that's 9 to 5. But
Yeah.
typically you're going to get like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. clients, and then 7 p.m., 6 p.m. clients. So you want to make it where you're close to your house, so that you could, or anywhere you live,
Yeah.
so that you could just pop home,
Mhm.
make yourself a little snack, and pop
Right.
back, instead of having to bring breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, water, everything. Like, you just have to bring the kitchen sink when you're going to be at work 5
Right.
a.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And you're not working that whole time. It's fun at Equinox. It was very fun. There's so many trainers that we would like work out on our breaks. There was a shower and a spa and a sauna. Like, you could get a massage during your breaks, and you could barter with the massage therapist. Like, I did that. Like, I would train the massage therapist, and then they would give me a massage. Same
Right.
thing with a facialist at
Okay.
Equinox. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
But that's my 2 cents about being a personal trainer. I would say, since you have a lot of downtime, like a client cancels, So
Yeah.
let's say you arrive at 5 a.m. and then at 5:05 you get a text, oh, I'm sorry, I just woke up. I'm
Yeah.
not going to make it.
Right.
You have to be okay with that
Yeah.
and kind of have things in mind to do in those situations.
Definitely. Definitely. So I wanted to get your insight on the content creation aspect here, because this is, and I mean, I do this every week, and it's something that like I still struggle with. You and I are talking, that's totally fine. Like that's where I'm in my wheelhouse when someone's with me. But like when I do solo content, just the video of me, it takes me probably an hour to do a 5 minute video because I'm like, no, this is terrible. No, I don't like this, everything like that. And you have a YouTube channel. You were creating content
Yes.
independently there. And so just wanted to get the feel from you, like what did that process look like? Because obviously if you're a trainer and you're coaching classes, like people have signed up, people are going to be there, how to prepare to speak to a room. And I was an English teacher prior, so like I know how to speak to a room of 25, 30 high schoolers. I don't know how to speak into the void, just me in front of the camera that well. So, what was that process like for you when it came to content creation and doing that all on your own? The change from doing it in front of a group of people to, obviously a lot more, but you don't see them. You can't see how they're receiving what you're trying to sell them, stuff like that.
Great questions. And I'm looking forward to where this conversation goes because so back to I was at Orange Theory, I left because of the pandemic, and then I was at an office as an executive assistant, office assistant, kind of hybrid roles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I still do.
Yeah.
So one day I got together with my friends that had babies and they're like, oh, yeah, I want to start working out. So we created a group chat on our phones, about fitness and motivating each other and all that. So one day my girlfriend did a YouTube video that was Pilates. And I said, okay, that's great. But you want to try to incorporate, from what I learned from Equinox, you want to try to incorporate, and Orange Theory, you want to try to incorporate a light day, like which would be Pilates, like a light day, and then a medium day, and then a heavy day.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and it's just kind of like moderate activity, a little bit harder, and then like pretty tough
Right.
activity. That would be like the heavy day. And so she's like, I can't find any medium days on YouTube. Can you point me in the right direction? Do you know of any? So I was like, no. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna create a YouTube channel
Mm-hmm.
for you, but really for anybody. Because whenever I say, oh yeah, I was a trainer for a long time, people are like, oh, I want to start working out. I just don't know where to begin. I just joined a gym. I don't really know. Now I have something that I could point to say, oh, here you go. So
Yeah.
I started my YouTube channel. Now I'm working full time, like 12-hour days from the time I wake up till the time I get home.
Mm-hmm.
Like time I wake up to start getting ready. So it's long days. I don't have a lot of free time. So I wasn't doing this to try to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit different. But, of course, like if you wind up making money from it, great. But that wasn't my intention. So and I think that doing that is a great way to start because you're not being pushy or trying to like sell it. You're just kind of starting and
Yeah.
getting your feet wet. And the great thing about YouTube is you can create videos and post them, but make it private and then make it public when you're ready to release it.
Right.
So that's what I would recommend because, and like, okay, going back to the content creation though. So I would do it on my lunch break because I had an hour. I would always work out on my lunch break. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to film it.
Yeah.
And like you said, yes, an hour lunch break to film 20 minutes of content. It was tight. It was tight. I was like a little rushed trying to get set up and trying to pack everything up and clean up the gym in my building before I went back up to work. So I would get down. I would, of course, like fix my hair a little bit, but I tried not to worry too much about what I look like.
Yeah.
Because I learned from my meditation teacher, actually, she wouldn't always look amazing 24/7. Like sometimes she would look a little tired. And I'm like, you know what? Who cares if I have bags under my eyes and I want to film? Because I was always very critical of myself.
Mhm.
in that aspect. If I'm going to make something public, like it has to be perfect,
Right.
which I learned from Tony Robbins. I learned in his free seminar that he does every January. He says perfection, like striving for perfection, gets in the way of something really great. And
Mhm.
I totally believe in that. You know, forget trying to wait until everything's perfect. Just make moves.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. But if I went back in time to do it again, I would have done what I had said, created all the videos, made them private just so I can see,
Mhm.
watch them on my own time, because that was another thing. So I would always watch them before I would make them public. Like, but I would always want to make them public the day I made it because it's so exciting. It's like, oh my God, I created this. It's actually okay. I watched it. It's pretty good. I want to post it.
Mhm.
But I told you I'm working 12-hour days. It's
Right.
it's hard to find the time to rewatch 20 minutes of content
Right.
and make sure it's acceptable before you post it. But
Mhm.
what I would have done differently is create the content, upload the videos, make them private, watch them on my own time. I don't care if it takes me 3 months to watch all of them and like, or that's a little long. I don't care if it takes me a week to watch it, you
Mhm.
know, then post it. Like not so rushed
Right.
because it was taking up too much of my free time.
Yeah. Now, I think one of the struggles with content creation, and again, I'm a victim to this myself, is like you hear content is key and consistency is key, and it's hard sometimes because you feel repetitive. You don't want to post the
Yeah.
same thing all the time. That's why I have guests on this show, so it's not just me consistently every week trying to tell people, what to do when they're looking for a job. It's, get that outside perspective. So for someone like yourself, how did you try to challenge yourself? Because if people watch the show, they've heard me say there's no one size fits all approach to job searching, no one size fits all approach to recruiting. Obviously, there's not that for fitness either. Everyone kind of has their own pace, their own capabilities, their limitations. So, how did you try to go about creating content consistently while being aware that there's different ways people are going to consume this, and trying to offer that variety in what you were presenting to them?
Ooh, good question. So the way I designed it was a combination of what I learned at Equinox and Orange Theory. So this is kind of like a specific form of training that you can incorporate, or that viewers and people that do the workouts can incorporate into other workouts. It's not meant to be just do these workouts.
Right.
So at Equinox, they taught us you want to hit all the different muscles, and you by using all the different joint actions. Like your shoulder can go this way, your shoulder can go this way,
Mhm.
back, rotator cuffs. So you want to hit all those different joint actions from all your different joints, medium, light, medium, and heavy
Mhm.
throughout the course of your workout program.
Right.
And then in between those personal training workouts, you want to do your yoga, stretching, I think it's very important to cross train,
Yeah.
your cardio, your, like Orange Theory taught me, you want to really get your heart rate up during your cardio to make it most effective for weight loss,
Mhm.
interval training. But if you're just trying to maintain steady state cardio, a long walk on an incline, that'll just keep your weight where it is. But if you want to really lose weight, Orange Theory teaches intervals, heart rate up, heart rate down. So that's kind of where I learned from the best of the best. Equinox, Orange Theory, and also Melissa Wood Health. She does Pilates and yoga and sculpting and stretching. She has an online app and she's very good. So there is no one size fits all to fitness. You're totally right about that. And just kind of combining what I've learned into my workouts.
Mhm.
And then while also on my YouTube channel, you'll see I have these recommendations in between these workouts. Like it's not like something meant to do every day, my workouts. It's meant to, okay, do your personal training session, maybe once, twice, 3 times a week. Typically 2 to 3 times a week, you want to do a personal training session, like where it's like heavy, light, or medium. And then in between, do your stretching, do your walking, do your cardio, running, swimming, hiking, whatever you really love to do. So that way you keep it fresh and exciting and you constantly confuse your body
Right.
to see the best results.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with content creation as well, and this is something I've talked about with a lot of people because I've built my brand, my network through LinkedIn, just through content creation as well, and that's usually the difficult starting off point, right? Like everyone starts with zero followers at one point. No one has, already this built-in audience, and if they do, listen to how they got that because it's an anomaly. But normally you're starting off and you're trying to build this network, this brand from scratch. So, what did that look like for you in terms of trying to get people interested? I know you started off doing this for friends, and then it grew into what it is now. So, what did that process look like? When did you finally feel you were ready to say, okay, my friends are gaining benefit value from this, let me see who else can, and start sending it out to others and being more public with what you were creating?
So I did it. I flew off the seat of my pants basically with this. I decided I was doing it, filmed it on that day, posted it on that day, and I texted family and friends that day.
Gotcha.
So I just kind of like dove right in.
Mhm.
I don't recommend that though. I recommend when you have a great idea, like starting your own YouTube channel, sit on it for 3 months.
Mhm.
Start creating your content. Start seeing what you look like on camera. Start seeing the angles. Start seeing the setup, the best setup. Like there's one video where I don't like the angle in the mirror, but the other ones look better. It's like if I had waited to post all of these, I wouldn't have posted that one because I don't like the angle in the mirror.
Okay.
Um, and then, also if you think of it like when a woman gets pregnant, typically they wait to tell everyone
Mhm.
once it's out of its infancy stage,
Yeah.
and I truly do believe in that. I think that waiting 3 months is a good little, give or take,
Yeah.
but a good little window of time where you're creating your content. You
Mhm.
have content for 6 months by the end of the 3 months,
Yeah.
maybe even longer. And then when you release it, so what I did, I posted on Instagram as well that same day. I was like, I just started a YouTube channel right after I did it, right after my lunch break. I just started my YouTube channel. Uh, right now there's just one video.
Yeah.
It's all about working out. And it was really fun. Like it brought out energy in me because I feel very unfulfilled at my desk job.
Mhm.
So it really brought some fulfillment into my life. It
Okay.
really did. And I felt as if I was helping people through the channel.
Yeah.
And especially because it involves foam rolling, which is a form of stretching and warming up and cooling down. That I feel like there's not a lot of content out there, good content, in
Right.
my opinion, that I could find
Mhm.
that does it the way that I do it. So I was like, let me just do this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, Amy makes that. Amy makes that. She is a content creator. She had a full-time job, office job, just like me, and she quit and she built her brand online full time.
Okay.
She is in the Cricut space. The Cricuts where you make,
Mhm.
stickers and stuff for water bottles and whatnot. She's an expert. She's amazing at what she does, and she gives pointers
Okay.
through her YouTube channels. And she says, post same day every week. And she says, your handle, make it the same across all platforms. So
Mhm.
if it's maximize Monday, make it maximize Monday on Instagram, make it maximize Monday on YouTube, make it maximize Monday on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
you know, which I thought was very awesome insight
Yeah.
because she's been really successful at it. But just to land my plane with the whole content creation thing, she had said to me, like, when she saw my Instagram, she was like, oh, this is awesome. Really try to be consistent with it, like post the same day every week. But my problem was I was just also getting back into working out like that.
Yeah.
So I was getting really sore from the workouts because when you film, it pushes you to go a little harder than you would if you weren't filming.
Right.
as far as working out goes. So I would work out and then kind of have to rush back upstairs to get back to work, not really stretch enough. I would get sore. And then I would kind of almost wait to work out again until the following Tuesday, because I was like, I don't want to get too sore that I can't film.
Right. Right.
So that's another reason why you should, why I recommend waiting, build your content creation. Like I would have not posted publicly. I would have created the videos at
Mhm.
my own leisure,
Yeah.
at my own leisure. And then once I have, I don't know, let's say 12 videos,
Hmm.
then I would post on Instagram, hey, I started my YouTube channel, and I would only reveal one video,
Yeah.
only make one video public. And then the following week, make another video public. And then all along the way, continue to film new content, upload it, and make it private until that Tuesday comes along. So
Right.
you have that content in your back pocket ready to go, instead of, oh my God, am I going to be too sore? What if blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. What if
Right.
my phone dies and I can't post that day because I don't have enough time to post? And then you're not going to be successful because you're not being as consistent as you should.
Definitely. Definitely. So the question that I get constantly for Maximize Monday, and I'm going to pose this to you now, is, what's next? What do you want to do with this? And this show started 5 years ago. It's just during the pandemic, a way for a coworker and I to hold ourselves accountable since we weren't meeting face to face anymore. And here we are 5 years later, trying to give resume, interview, job seeking tips. So when people say, what's next for Maximize Monday? My answer is always, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. And that's probably not the best direction to have, but that's kind of where I am with it at this point. So I'll pose the question to you. What's next for Charlotte? I know you mentioned that it's a lot to do the content creation on top of working too. So, what are the kind of the goals? What's the focus for you as you look towards the future here?
Okay, I love this. I feel like there's a little bit to unpack here,
Yeah.
because I like where you're at with, sometimes not having a plan. You're led just by your intuition and what you learn, you learn
Mhm.
along the way, and then it pulls you in a certain direction. So it's kind of a awesome way to live and to do things,
Yeah.
in my opinion. You do need some planning and different strokes for different folks type of
Right.
thing. But for me, so I realized it was a little bit too much for me. And I truly believe it was because of the way I started. I just kind of started, instead of doing like what I said, like making it private, building your content.
Mhm.
So I didn't keep up with it because it was just, I didn't like how it was holding me back from my workouts in between.
Yeah.
Um, So I kind of stopped, but what I did was I posted a video of like how to continue, like trying to teach people the method behind why I chose what exercises I chose and what exercises I would choose next.
Mhm.
Um, so where do I see it going? I mean, I am kind of looking for a job more fulfilling.
Mhm.
So I don't really know right now. It's tough to not know.
Yeah.
Um, but I also believe that I will be guided, like I said, as I learn, as I put myself around different people and different experiences that I love, like doing hobbies that I love, things will evolve. But with the YouTube channel, I see it as a backup. Like, let's say I get fired tomorrow.
Mhm.
I could just go really deep in on my YouTube channel, like now that it's there.
Yeah.
I could start posting, because right now I'm not posting on Instagram about it. I could start posting on Instagram about it. I could start making different content on there. So I really love having it as my backup,
Yeah.
because I do have some followers on it. So it's just nice to know that, okay, if God forbid I got fired tomorrow, like, or had to quit and I was looking for a new job and found a new job and then got laid off right away, because that happens in this job market too.
Right.
I have this to fall back on just to keep myself busy.
Mhm.
But did that answer your question?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely does. So another question I have for you, and everyone who joins Maximize Monday gets this question, and I enjoy it because it's always different. And you gave some advice earlier, what you would tell people if they're starting in content creation. But I always ask the question, for people who are looking for something new, for people who are at the stage of their career where they're in, is there a piece of advice that you received along the way that always kind of stuck with you as very beneficial, that when you're in a situation where you're looking for something or you need that motivation, does anything stand out as this has been really helpful for me in my career to think of when I'm in those types of times?
Meaning when I'm in the times of like
Just in
transitioning.
general. Yeah, I mean, just in general, if even if not transitioning, but something, I mean, we had professors in college that kind of guided us too. And there's stuff that, they said that might not have even been specific, like, Matt, this is what you should do. But things that I've held on to as this was good advice. They might not have known that even they gave that to me. But anything that has really kind of stuck with you through your career now that you would pass on to other people who are just kind of looking for advice on figuring things out for their future.
I would definitely say journaling, just writing down your thoughts. Like I learned it as a brain dump,
Mm.
and writing down things that you like about your job or your past jobs, and things that you didn't like, and tasks that you enjoy doing, tasks that you don't enjoy doing, that can kind of guide you
Yeah.
into. And then also a morning routine and a nighttime routine. But for me personally, like meditating every
Okay.
morning and having my journal nearby, so that if something comes up in my mind while I'm meditating, I can write it down. And just when you meditate and you just sit, I usually do a guided, like on an app,
Mm.
like Melissa Wood Health. And you, it just helps you to like your thoughts to settle.
Yeah.
Like you might be like, oh, you know what? I am happy at this job. Or, oh, you know what? I have this idea. Like getting quiet has been number one for me, I think, but also through all the changes, like let's say again, like I got fired from my job. I have a huge morning routine, 4 hours long to lean on.
Hmm.
And that's huge for me, in my opinion, because it's like, okay, I'm not stuck
Yeah.
because I am going to meditate. I'm going to, you know, wash up, shower if I want, like, or if I need,
Yeah.
make my coffee, have my fruit,
Hmm.
write in my journal, read my books, get my finances out. I have like 4 books that I read like a page in, or a
Okay.
chapter, or even of just a paragraph.
Yeah.
Writing down at least one thing that you're grateful for is a great start with writing. But there's so much content. Like this is the greatest time to be alive.
Hmm.
There is so much out there that you just Google, oh, how do I journal? What
Yeah.
what should I journal about? You will have endless content that you can get pull from,
Hmm.
and you could keep yourself busy all day long. And I think that that's where sometimes people go wrong when they're confused about something, is they're just watching TV. Like
Yeah.
I don't have Netflix anymore. It has been huge for me.
Yeah.
And cutting out the distractions.
Hmm.
That's how you get quiet. Like and you know this because I didn't respond to your message for a long time. I will download social media apps, post if I want, or just check my messages. And then once like my messages are checked and I don't need it anymore, I delete.
Okay.
And I download it because I get so sucked in and I waste so much time. And it's like I could be on LinkedIn looking for a job right now. Why am I on Instagram like
Yeah.
scrolling?
I mean, that advice is fantastic because I think that's a lot. I mean, I've worked with a lot of people that are, now in month 12 of their job search, and it's frustration for them. And it's so hard to take that time to unplug and avoid the distractions, like you said. Like a lot of people, they wake up at 7:30 a.m. And they're like, I need to start applying for jobs. And it's just they're throwing out multiple applications with no search behind it, no strategy behind it. And ultimately it's not yielding the results that they want. And so I think that, that advice to take, even if it's 1 hour a day to just unplug,
Right.
disconnect, take that time to really forget about all the noise, it could certainly do wonders for like something might click like I want to do this with my career now. And most of the time they're not doing that because, and I get it, right? You've got to find work, and I'm not going to say don't look for
Yes.
jobs or anything like that, but I think there's a time and place to be strategic and to give yourself some time. You might not have a position, but that doesn't mean you don't deserve free time for yourself. So, Charlotte, amazing advice there. Thank you for that.
And one more thing, like the most important thing is what a morning routine, nighttime routine does for you
Yeah,
is it makes you the person that you want to be and that you want to show up as every day.
yeah,
So your chances of attracting success to you are way, way, way higher.
yeah, absolutely.
And that's what meditating has done for me, especially Melissa Wood. I can't say enough good about her. She's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, before I let you out here for today, I want to give you some time to plug, where people can find you, follow you, connect with you, where they can view your workout videos and kind of incorporate that into their routine as well. But, before I let you go, give you some time to kind of plug what you've been working on here.
Sure. So my handle that I learned that I formed from Amy makes that advice, her advice, that's her handle. And she's like, make it the same across all platforms. So I did that. It's Charlotte Marie Elizabeth
All right.
on YouTube.
All right, perfect. All right, well, I'm glad you were able to jump on here with me. It's been nice to catch up, connect, and get some insight for you. There's a lot of valuable stuff in here that I think people can take away from in terms of content creation and just general advice during their job search. So appreciative of you taking some time out of your day to do this with me. Everyone who listened, watched, thank you for spending some time out of your day with us as well, and we'll talk to you soon.
Charlotte Marie Elizabeth on Instagram too.
Perfect.